So good morning everyone. Welcome to today's pre-market analysis. I hope my voice and everything is audible and my videos screen sharing is also visible. So let's start with this Nifty. So yesterday as it was expiry, we had a very good movement both initially in the beginning we got a move to the downside, nearly hitting our first support one and took kind of liquidity over here, and it reversed back a V-shaped recovery. We can see a little bit consolidation in this particular level, was that too no, not for long, and after that it reversed back and it again came above our pivot point. Then it came to our nearly to our R1, then again from there it closed near to our particular bullish zone which started R2. So these were yesterday's movement and these were the support and resistance with respect to the pivot point yesterday. So we had a run up to nearly to our second target, which was R2 resistance to 25,730 was. So it closed nearly 25,750 was the high and closed at 705. Today also I expect a gap up similar to yesterday. Gift Nifty is also running so far good, but we will have that everything after we sound this out Nifty with respect to today's level. I hope my body. Okay, so let's start with today's pivot point. So today's pivot point lies at 25,620 level. So I'll mark it down. 25,620 will be today's pivot point. So yesterday you can see it was 580. So it gradually increased a little bit due to yesterday's movement. So with respect to this only, we will plot our support and resistance for the day. So support comes at 25. This one comes at 25. 520 will be the first support. And S2 will be at 25,350. And S3 will be at 25,250. So on the resistance part, R1 lies at 25,790, a slight range for the R1. So R2 can be considered at 25,880. And R3 will be at 26,050. So we are back to 26,000 levels again. So after the market recovered from this particular point, which was at 25,300 range. So these are the levels for day. We will quickly mark the pivot point, and 25,620 will be the pivot point for the day, and R1 is at 25,790. So we will zone this out. This bullish zone will be between R2 and particularly R2 and R3. So we will mark that also down. So 25,880 will be the R2, and R3 is back again. We are back again to the 26,000 level. 26,050 will be the R2. So we have a broader range here. You can see it clearly. So if it is staying on a sideways consolidation, consolidation way, it will be between S1 25,520 and R1 is at 25,790. So this will be the consolidation zone, and we will quickly mark the bearish zone as well, which will be between 520 and 350. 250 also we will mark the third support. So these are the zones for Nifty 50 for the day with respect to the pivot point. Pivot point is calculated with respect to yesterday's high, low and close. So this is a classic method which I used here. We find pivot lines with support and resistance. So with respect to that, these are the zones. So similar to what I have explained yesterday, any moment as it is already trading above this pivot line with a higher volume. So you can see that higher volume is already there, and today also I expect a gap up start. We will have a confirmation on that at the end while we have a look at GIFT Nifty and the FIA data. So it is trading above the pivot line. So I expect a bullish continuation in the market, hitting R1, and we can witness it might test the R2 and R3 in the coming days. So today with respect to this, a good movement should happen in the market with respect to today's pivot point and today's sentiments in the market. So these are the three zones and three support and resistance for the Nifty 50. So if you see on this particular RSI fact, it is also reversal from marking a low at 49.50 range, and it is moving. It is at 56 now. So anyway, mild bullish, neutral to mild bullish stand, it's changing to the bullish side only. So when it goes to nearly above 55, we can consider it as a mild bullish sentiment in the market. So these are for the Nifty level. So we will quickly move on to the Bank Nifty. So yesterday we didn't zone this out. So yesterday's pivot point and target we can see. So this was not there. So similar to Nifty, this is also trading above the pivot point, and it came already. So we will change it to today's zones first. So with respect to Bank Nifty 57, 980 will be today's PP. PP 57, 980. So pivot point for the day for Bank Nifty will be at 57, 980, and with respect to this, the support one lies at 57, 750. And support 2 will be at 57 400, 57 400, and support 3 lies at 57 200. So it is a rounded off range. It comes nearly 184 194 range, so I rounded it off to 200. So R3 will be, R1 will be at 58 350. 58 3 will be the R1, and R2 will be at 58 550. 560 is the actual. So we will mark the actual value 58 560, and R3 will be at 58 950. 58 950. So these are the levels for Bank Nifty. So we will quickly mark this particular pivot point which lies at 57 980 range is today's pivot line. So we can see that it is trading above this, the higher volume. So any movement above this and sustaining above this level will lead to our R2 and R3 level. We'll mark that R1 as well. So R1 is at 58 350. So this will be the R1, and any movement above this pivot point with a higher volume will lead to the R1 and R2 simultaneously, if the volume sustains in the market. So if the momentum and the volume sustains in the market, definitely we are going to witness these two levels for the day. So these are the levels for Bank Nifty, and I'll quickly move on to the Sensex part. With respect to Sensex, so similar movement in Sensex as well with respect to the Nifty. So we'll mark today's level for Sensex. So today's pivot point lies at 83 400 levels with a 600 level 650 it comes. So I'll mark today's PP 83 650, it is exactly 645. So we plotted it on 83 650, and with respect to this support one light is 83 350. 83 350 will be the support one, and support 2 will be at 82 850. 82 850, and support 3 lies at 82 550. Broader range we have for the day. So resistance one, it is 84 150 160, it is actually 84 160 only we will mark, and R2 is at 84 450. R2 is at 84 450 will be the R2, and R3 will be at 84 970. So we have broader range for the day. I'll mark the pivot line here, 650. So clearly we can see that it is also trading above this with a higher volume close yesterday in the yesterday's market. So if this sustains, so definitely our bullish validation will be continued. So we will have a proper bullish validation in the morning itself. So we will have a quick look at the GIFT Nifty, where GIFT Nifty is trading. So GIFT Nifty came a little bit below today, so we'll confirm it with our FIA data. So we'll have a quickly view on the FIA data as well. So yesterday the selling, so similar pattern continued by the FIA and DAD, but the selling volume has a little bit decreased with respect to the FIA. If we see particularly on foreign institutional investor, the selling volume kind of increased with respect to previous days. So with respect to DIA also, they continued their buying streak, adding up 2000 crore to the cash market. So we will look into the FIA's FNO data. So it is net bullish. So I expect it should be supposed to be a slight gap up in the market. Let's see. You should always, like yesterday, you should always confirm it first before taking a entry into the market. So yesterday also it was a slight gap up. If you see, I'll change it to the 15-minute. So it was, with respect to the closing, it was a slight gap up and it came down and it hit on our S1, and nearly from the 24,450 level it reversed back to the level. So today also be cautious about the opening, and first, so pre-market is available. It is a good gap up today, so it is opening at 25,830, nearly above our R1. So it is opening above our R1. So wait for that first initial time period a little bit, and after that, if we get a bounce from this particular R1 level with a good volume, then definitely we can go for an entry towards this R2 and R3 zone. I'll change this. So it is opening in a good gap up mode, and that to above our R1 itself. So a bounce from this particular level we can consider as an entry for this for the R2 and R3 zone. So wait for that initial a little bit time period, so that we will get a proper confirmation on the direction. So I believe that if it is opening on such a good gap up, it won't be coming down much. But if you are getting in this particular point, then definitely we can go for a bullish side with respect to the R2 and R3. So always properly manage your risk and everything. So I wish everyone a good day today and a good trading day also. I'll wind up for the day, everyone. And thank you so much.